What if you could buy a nearly new car for a fraction of its original price? Right now, thousands of vehicles are being sold off at shockingly low prices, and most people have no idea why. Hertz, once one of the biggest names in car rentals, is in financial trouble again, and their solution is to flood the market with unbelievably cheap cars. But there is a catch, and if you are not careful, you could end up making a costly mistake. We are diving into the Hertz fire sale and the bigger crisis unfolding in the auto industry. Hertz's downfall is not just about one company, it is a warning sign of a much bigger shift in the auto industry, one that could change the way you buy, rent, or even own a car. From rental agencies to car manufacturers, everyone is feeling the pressure. The question is, how will this affect you? What other companies are being forced to sell off their fleets? And what are the traps hidden behind that cheap sticker? By the time you finish watching, you will understand exactly what is happening, how to take advantage of it, and what the future of car ownership really looks like. How Hertz built an empire and then lost it all. Hertz was not just another car rental company, it was a powerhouse that dominated the global rental industry for decades. And to truly understand what's happening, we need to talk about how we even got here, because for millions of travelers, Hertz was synonymous with reliability, convenience, and accessibility. The company had an iron grip on the airport rental market, with locations in nearly every major city across the globe. At its peak, it boasted an extensive fleet of vehicles and a reputation that made it the go-to choice for both business and leisure travelers. But how does a company that strong crumble? The answer lies in a series of strategic missteps, market disruptions, and one colossal gamble that went disastrously wrong. Hertz first encountered financial turbulence in the 21st century when consumer behavior began to shift. Ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft started eating into its customer base. Meanwhile, the rise of alternative car ownership models, such as leasing and long-term rentals, further disrupted Hertz's traditional business model. The company struggled to innovate fast enough, relying heavily on outdated strategies that no longer aligned with consumer expectations. Then came the global pandemic, the final nail in the coffin. With travel bans, lockdowns, and a sharp decline in tourism, Hertz's revenue plummeted almost overnight. The company, already in a fragile financial position, could not withstand the extended period of near-zero demand. In a desperate attempt to survive, it filed for bankruptcy, erasing billions in debt. Hertz managed to claw its way back from that first bankruptcy, but it was a false recovery. The company attempted to stage a comeback by making high-risk financial bets and acquiring expensive assets that it could not sustain long-term. The cracks in its foundation widened, and before long, Hertz found itself in a deeper crisis than ever before. But the real disaster was not the bankruptcy itself. What Hertz did next would set off a chain reaction that led to an unprecedented financial collapse. The billion-dollar mistakes that sealed Hertz's fate. One of Hertz's biggest blunders was its over-reliance on airport rentals. Historically, airports had been a goldmine for rental companies, as millions of travelers needed temporary transportation upon landing. Hertz built much of its business model around these high-traffic locations, but the landscape began to change. With the rise of ride-sharing services, more travelers opted for Uber or Lyft instead of renting a car, reducing Hertz's airport revenue significantly. Even before the pandemic, this shift had begun cutting into Hertz's profits, but leadership failed to adjust the business model accordingly. Then, the pandemic struck and Hertz's reliance on airport rentals turned into a massive liability. Travel restrictions meant that airports once bustling with renters became ghost towns. With its primary revenue stream decimated, Hertz was hemorrhaging money at an unsustainable rate. Instead of pivoting quickly, the company scrambled to secure short-term financial relief, accumulating even more debt in the process. The pandemic exposed the weaknesses in Hertz's business strategy, but it was the company's financial decisions post-bankruptcy that truly doomed it. In an effort to revive its image and position itself as a leader in sustainability, Hertz made a bold billion-dollar investment in electric vehicles. The move was meant to modernize its fleet and attract eco-conscious customers. However, the execution was deeply flawed. Hertz purchased an enormous fleet of electric vehicles without fully understanding the infrastructure and costs required to maintain them. Charging stations were not widely available, making the rental process cumbersome for customers unfamiliar with electric cars. Additionally, the cost of repairing and maintaining electric vehicles, especially high-end models like Tesla's, proved to be much higher than anticipated. What seemed like a futuristic investment quickly became an operational nightmare, draining company resources at an alarming rate. By the time Hertz realized its mistake, it was too late. The company was sitting on a depreciating fleet of electric vehicles that customers were hesitant to rent. The financial pressure mounted, and Hertz found itself unable to recover from its self-inflicted wounds. Faced with mounting losses, Hertz was forced to take drastic action. It's not just cars being sold. In a desperate bid to stay afloat, Hertz began liquidating its assets at an unprecedented scale. Most people know that Hertz is offloading thousands of vehicles, but the liquidation extends far beyond just cars. Hertz is selling off office spaces, corporate infrastructure, technology systems, and even business licenses. The company is shedding everything it can to free up cash and keep itself from complete collapse. This means that in addition to bargain-priced vehicles, there are also deals to be found in commercial assets, office furniture, and business contracts once held by Hertz. Savvy buyers are swooping in to purchase these assets for a fraction of their original value. But the real headline here is the cars. Hertz's financial struggles mean that thousands of vehicles, including luxury models, are being offloaded at massive discounts. Whether you are looking for an economy car, an SUV, or even an electric vehicle, this fire sale is creating opportunities that have not been seen in years. However, not all of these vehicles are created equal. Before you rush to take advantage of these deals, there is a crucial factor you need to consider: Hertz's fire sale. With Hertz selling off its fleet, thousands of vehicles are entering the market at significantly reduced prices. These cars are available through direct sales, dealership partnerships, and auctions. But before you rush in, it is essential to know exactly what you are getting into and how to navigate this unprecedented buying opportunity wisely. Hertz vehicles are generally well maintained, as rental companies adhere to strict servicing schedules. However, since these cars have been driven by numerous customers with varying driving habits, they often experience higher than average wear and tear. While the discounts may seem too good to pass up, purchasing without due diligence could lead to unexpected repair costs down the road. When making an informed decision, the vehicle's history is critical. Always verify its accident record, previous repairs, and maintenance logs. Some Hertz vehicles may have minor damages that are not immediately visible but can impact performance in the long run. Mileage is another important factor. Many rental cars accumulate significant mileage in a short period, which can affect their longevity and resale value. While Hertz offers substantial discounts, the trade-off may be additional maintenance needs sooner than expected. Buyers should also differentiate between certified pre-owned vehicles and auction purchases. Some Hertz cars are sold as certified pre-owned models, which come with warranties and undergo additional inspections. Others are auctioned off with no guarantees, meaning the buyer assumes all risks. For those considering electric vehicles, additional caution is necessary. If purchasing a discounted Tesla or other electric model, it is crucial to check the battery health, charging capabilities, and repair costs. Some electric vehicles may have reduced range or require costly battery replacements. Real-world cases show that buyers have secured high-end models, including electric vehicles and luxury SUVs, for less than half of their original market value. However, not all deals are created equal. Some vehicles may seem like a bargain initially, but come with hidden mechanical issues that drive up costs later. For those who research thoroughly and move quickly, Hertz's liquidation offers a rare opportunity to purchase a quality vehicle at a fraction of its retail price. But this window will not last long. Once these cars are gone, they are gone for good. If you are considering making a move, now is the time to act before these deals disappear. The risks of buying a used rental car. What no one tells you. Buying a used rental car might seem like a great way to save money, but there are risks that most buyers do not consider. Hertz vehicles, like those from any rental fleet, are driven by countless individuals, each with different driving habits. This results in accelerated wear and tear that may not be immediately visible, but can lead to costly repairs later. Many rental cars have high mileage because they are used daily for short-term rentals. While high mileage itself is not always a deal breaker, it can indicate more strain on the engine, transmission, and suspension. Some Hertz vehicles are well maintained, but others may have been serviced only to meet minimal requirements, meaning underlying issues might be overlooked. Certain Hertz cars may be excellent deals, while others could turn into financial burdens. The key is to assess vehicle history, maintenance records, and overall condition before purchasing, inspecting for signs of wear, checking for accident history, and getting a trusted mechanic's evaluation can help avoid costly surprises. And if you think Hertz's regular rental cars come with risks, their electric vehicles present an entirely different challenge. Hertz's Tesla nightmare. Hertz made headlines by investing in electric vehicles, particularly Teslas, believing it was the future of rental cars. The strategy aimed to modernize its fleet and attract environmentally conscious renters. However, what appeared to be a forward-thinking move quickly turned into a financial disaster. Customers renting Teslas from Hertz faced unexpected challenges. Charging infrastructure was not as widespread or convenient as traditional fuel stations, leading to frustration among renters unfamiliar with electric vehicles. Additionally, Tesla repairs were more expensive and took longer than anticipated, as specialized service centers and parts availability were limited. The problem worsened when Tesla reduced the prices of new vehicles, drastically lowering the resale value of Hertz's existing fleet. The depreciation of electric vehicles meant Hertz was losing money faster than expected. With thousands of electric vehicles in its inventory, the company found itself unable to recoup the initial investment. Now, these Teslas are being sold at unbelievably low prices. But should you buy one? The answer depends on whether you are prepared for the hidden costs that come with a used electric vehicle. The hidden costs of buying a used Tesla from Hertz. A used Tesla may seem like an incredible deal, especially at the drastically reduced prices seen in Hertz's liquidation. However, electric vehicles come with unique challenges that many buyers do not anticipate. One of the most critical factors to consider is battery health. Unlike a gasoline engine that can be maintained with regular servicing, an electric vehicle's performance is heavily dependent on its battery, which degrades over time. Hertz's Teslas have likely been driven extensively, meaning their battery capacity may be significantly reduced. A battery that once provided 300 miles of range may now only offer 200 miles or less. Replacing an electric vehicle battery is one of the most expensive repairs, sometimes costing tens of thousands, negating any savings from the initial purchase. Additionally, electric vehicles often have higher repair costs than traditional gasoline cars. Specialized parts, fewer repair shops, and complex technology mean even minor fixes can be costly. Insurance premiums can also be higher for electric vehicles, as some insurers consider them riskier to repair or replace. While a Hertz Tesla might seem like an incredible bargain, buyers must carefully assess the long-term costs before committing. For those who are well-informed and prepared, there are genuine deals to be found. But for others, the dream of a discounted Tesla could turn into an expensive mistake. If you are serious about purchasing a Hertz vehicle, whether an electric or gasoline-powered model, there are specific strategies you should follow to secure the best possible deal. How to actually get the best deals. With thousands of vehicles hitting the market, Hertz auctions and direct sales offer an unprecedented opportunity to purchase cars at steep discounts. However, not all deals are equal, and navigating the process wisely is crucial. One of the best strategies is to research the history of the car you are interested in. Many Hertz vehicles come with detailed service records, allowing you to identify those that have been well maintained. Avoid cars with unclear histories or signs of repeated mechanical issues. Understanding how Hertz auctions work is also vital. Bidding wars can drive up prices, and it is easy to get caught up in the excitement and overpay. Setting a strict budget and knowing the market value of the car you are bidding on can prevent costly mistakes. Additionally, some Hertz vehicles are sold through dealerships rather than auctions. These may come with added warranties or certification, making them a safer bet for buyers who want extra protection. Comparing auction prices to dealership prices can help determine which route offers the best overall value. For those who play it smart, Hertz's liquidation is a rare chance to buy quality vehicles at prices that may never be seen again. But these opportunities will not last forever. As more buyers jump on the deals, inventory will shrink and prices may begin to rise. If you are considering making a move, now is the time to act before these deals disappear. The rental car industry is dying. The rental car industry, once a cornerstone of travel and business mobility, is facing an existential crisis. Hertz's downfall is not an isolated event. It is a symptom of a much larger problem affecting car rental companies worldwide. The industry has struggled to recover from the changes brought by shifting consumer habits, technological advancements, and economic pressures. One of the biggest threats to rental companies is the rise of ride-sharing services. Companies like Uber and Lyft have fundamentally changed how people think about transportation. Instead of renting a car for several days, many travelers now rely on these app-based services for point-to-point convenience, often at a lower cost. Additionally, the emergence of car subscription services has offered an alternative to traditional rentals. These services allow customers to pay a monthly fee for access to a variety of vehicles without the long-term commitment of ownership or the inconvenience of daily rental pricing. Companies like Avis and Enterprise are scrambling to adapt. Some are integrating their own ride-sharing alternatives, while others are experimenting with flexible leasing options to attract younger customers who no longer see car ownership as a necessity. However, these efforts may not be enough to stop the downward trend. As the rental industry struggles to redefine itself, competitors are waiting to take its place. And what is happening in the rental industry is just the beginning. A much bigger shift is unfolding across the entire automotive sector. The auto industry is heading toward a crisis. Here's why. While the rental industry is struggling, the larger automotive industry is facing challenges of its own. For years, car manufacturers ramped up production to meet rising demand, but now they are producing more cars than consumers are willing to buy. This has created an imbalance that could have significant consequences. One of the primary reasons for this crisis is affordability. The cost of new vehicles has risen sharply, putting them out of reach for many potential buyers. Higher interest rates on auto loans have further discouraged consumers from making large purchases, leading to stagnation in sales. As a result, dealerships are struggling to move inventory, and automakers are being forced to offer steep discounts to entice buyers. The ripple effect of this crisis extends beyond dealerships. Manufacturers, suppliers, and even financial institutions that provide auto loans are feeling the pressure. A slowdown in the auto industry could lead to job losses, plant closures, and a wider economic downturn. And Hertz's collapse is a warning sign of what is coming next. This crisis is not just affecting corporations, it is already having a direct impact on consumers in ways that many people have not yet realized. How this crisis will affect you, even if you don't buy a Hertz car. Whether or not you are in the market for a rental car, the economic shifts in the auto and rental industries will have lasting effects on the broader market. One of the most immediate impacts will be seen in the used car market. With Hertz and other rental companies liquidating their fleets, a flood of vehicles is hitting the market at significantly reduced prices. This surge in supply is expected to drive down prices of used cars across the board, creating a rare opportunity for buyers. However, for those financing their purchases, auto loans are becoming more expensive. Interest rates are climbing, and banks are tightening their lending standards, making it harder for many consumers to qualify for favorable loan terms. Even if vehicle prices drop, the overall cost of ownership may still be high due to increased financing costs. Another effect of the crisis is a potential shift away from traditional car ownership. With rental companies struggling and automakers adjusting to changing consumer behaviors, alternative mobility options such as subscription-based vehicle access, shared ownership, and long-term leasing may become more common. This could redefine how people think about owning a car in the future. For those who understand these trends, there is an opportunity to make smart decisions that could benefit them in the long run, and taking action now could make all the difference. The final warning. The collapse of Hertz and the struggles of the rental and auto industries are not just headlines, they are signals of a broader economic shift that could reshape how people buy, rent, and use vehicles. The current market presents a unique moment for savvy consumers and investors alike. For those looking to purchase a vehicle, this could be one of the best times to buy. Used car prices are expected to drop as more rental cars flood the market, creating opportunities to find significant discounts. However, buyers should be cautious and conduct thorough research to avoid potential pitfalls, such as hidden mechanical issues or overpriced financing options. For investors, the changing landscape of mobility services presents new opportunities. Companies that are successfully adapting to new consumer preferences, whether through ride-sharing, subscription models, or digital-first rental experiences, are likely to emerge stronger from this transition. Understanding these shifts now could position investors ahead of the curve. Ultimately, the Hertz fire sale is just one piece of a much larger story. The rental and auto industries are transforming, and those who recognize the changes early will be best positioned to benefit. Would you buy a Hertz car at these prices? And here is the thing, Hertz isn't the only company dumping cars. Who's next? Hertz's liquidation is making headlines, but it is not the only company flooding the market with vehicles. Across the industry, rental agencies, corporate fleets, and even car manufacturers are offloading vehicles at an accelerated pace. The combination of shifting market trends and economic instability is forcing many companies to scale back their fleets and reduce inventory. Rental car companies are particularly vulnerable. Hertz's competitors, including Enterprise and Avis, are facing similar pressures as travel patterns evolve, with ride-sharing services reducing the need for traditional rentals and economic uncertainty slowing down travel. These companies may soon follow Hertz's lead in cutting costs through fleet reductions. This means more used cars entering the market, further driving down prices. Beyond rental agencies, fleet operators like Uber and Lyft are also reconsidering their vehicle investments. These companies initially expanded their own vehicle leasing programs to provide cars for drivers who did not own one. However, with rising costs and fluctuating driver demand, they are now offloading their fleet vehicles, contributing to the growing surplus of used cars. The auto industry itself is not immune. Some manufacturers are struggling with overproduction, leading them to offer deep discounts or sell directly to fleet buyers at lower prices. The result is an influx of vehicles in the resale market, which presents both opportunities and challenges for buyers. But this trend is just part of a much bigger transformation that is taking place in the way people think about car ownership. Is buying even worth it anymore? For decades, owning a car was a symbol of independence and convenience. However, as technology advances and economic realities shift, more people are reconsidering whether buying a car is the best option. Subscription-based car ownership and flexible leasing are emerging as viable alternatives, providing consumers with access to vehicles without long-term commitments. Car subscription services allow users to pay a monthly fee in exchange for access to a vehicle, often covering insurance, maintenance, and roadside assistance. This model provides flexibility, especially for urban dwellers who do not need a car every day, but still want access to one when necessary. Companies like Tesla and Rivian have already started experimenting with subscription-based models, testing whether consumers prefer access over ownership. Traditional leasing is also evolving. Automakers are offering shorter-term leases with lower upfront costs, catering to consumers who want the benefits of driving a new car without the financial burden of a long-term purchase. This trend is particularly attractive to younger generations who prioritize flexibility and do not see car ownership as a lifelong commitment. For dealerships and private sellers, this shift raises concerns about the future of vehicle sales. If more consumers opt for flexible alternatives, demand for outright car purchases could decline. While the transition may not happen overnight, the growing popularity of subscription models suggests that the traditional dealership model could face challenges in the years ahead. And it is not just car ownership that is changing. The ripple effects of Hertz's downfall are reaching far beyond the automotive industry. The economic ripple effect and the liquidation of Hertz's assets is not just about cars. It is a sign of a larger economic trend that is reshaping multiple industries. Corporate bankruptcies and financial restructuring are leading to mass asset liquidations across real estate, technology, and transportation sectors. In real estate, companies struggling with financial instability are offloading office buildings, warehouses, and commercial spaces. The remote work revolution has reduced demand for corporate office space, leaving many properties vacant and driving down commercial real estate values. The technology sector is also experiencing financial shifts. As companies downsize and streamline operations, they are selling off equipment, software, and data centers. These liquidations create opportunities for businesses looking to acquire assets at reduced costs, but also highlight the economic strain that many industries are facing. Transportation and logistics are feeling the effects as well. With fluctuating fuel prices, supply chain disruptions, and evolving consumer behaviors, many fleet operators are reassessing their vehicle needs. Large-scale liquidations of trucks, delivery vans, and heavy equipment are becoming more common, creating both opportunities and challenges in the resale market. For investors and businesses, understanding these economic patterns is crucial. Identifying undervalued assets and anticipating market shifts can provide a competitive edge. Those who recognize these trends early will be better positioned to capitalize on emerging opportunities. As for Hertz itself, its future remains uncertain, and what happens next will have lasting implications for the entire industry. For car buyers, renters, and investors, the next 5 years will bring significant changes. The traditional way of owning, renting, and using vehicles is evolving, and those who stay ahead of these shifts will have the advantage. Would you still buy a car in this chaotic time? Let's discuss in the comments.